If your money is quietly leaking in the background, the process will always feel harder than it has to be. It will feel like you are running on the spot because there are a lot of things that are taken for granted. And by the time you have 3 or 4 direct debits that shouldn't be there, then it's a problem. Hello everyone, my name is Modupe and today we'll be looking at your spending habits. Quick reminder before we start, everything we cover is for education only. It shouldn't be taken as financial advice. If you do need financial advice, please consult a licensed professional. In the past couple of days, we've clarified your goals. What we'll be doing today is looking at your cash flow. Because no matter how clear your goals are, if your money is quietly leaking in the background, the process will always feel harder than it has to be. It will feel like you are running on the spot. So I'm going to quote something from one of my favorite books on personal finance, The Richest Man in Babylon. It says, a portion of all you earn is yours to keep. It sounds esoteric, but basically what that means is that of your entire salary, you don't have to spend everything and, like people say, help your landlord pay his mortgage, help your restaurant pay their rent, help your shoemaker put food on his table. It's basically as if you're a conduit, you collect your salary and you just help other people achieve their own financial goals. But that's not necessarily the way it should be. A portion of that salary that you collect is yours. You can actually hold on to a portion of what you earn and not use everything to help Netflix meet their annual targets. You can also use part of it to meet your own goals. Now, if you don't know where your money is going, you can't know if you need to be saving more or if there's something you're not doing well. That's where you have people saying things like, I stopped spending money on coffee, or I don't pay for this certain thing anymore. It's not wrong to decide you're cutting back on certain things, but there are other things within your monthly spend that actually take a lot more money from you that you don't notice because you're not checking. So today we're going to carry out an exercise that you should do regularly, like quarterly. We're going to go through your cash flow, your monthly cash flow. The idea is for us to find out where the leaks are. Where are the things that you are spending money on that are not aligned with your values and your long-term objectives? Again, this is not about judging yourself or constraining yourself. It's basically an audit, right? Because there are a lot of things that an audit turns up that a lot of times we're taking for granted and we're totally unaware of. Now, we're going to do this in 3 steps. Step 1, and I want you to do this with me. Open up your banking app. If it's a mobile banking app, open it up on your phone. If you don't have a mobile banking app, check on your laptop, access your bank account, and look at your transactions for the past 30 days. Now, if you're using a bank like Monzo, they made this very easy. You can actually see graphs that show you the things you spend money on monthly. You can even change the start date for when it calculates its 30 days. So for me, I don't start on the 1st of the month because my salary doesn't get paid on the 1st of the month. I start the day after my salary gets paid so that I can see the actual monthly cycle from when the money comes in and how it goes. What you want to do is find patterns. What are the days that you spend a lot of money? What do you spend the money on? What are the things that, if you look at your monthly income and split it into percentages, where does the bulk of it go? For someone like me, most of my monthly income goes into my rent. But for others, it might be groceries. It could be something that is taking a huge chunk. It doesn't have to be over 50%, just that compared to everything else, it's taking the most, it's taking the priority. That gives you an idea of where your money is really going. You now need to ask yourself, is that where it should be going? Another thing you should look out for is if there's any direct debit that hits your account regularly that you are either not aware of or you've forgotten about. Because sometimes we set up direct debits for things like maybe phone bills or internet access. But if you do not remember to cancel them, let me give you an example. Let's say you got a SIM at some point when you moved into the UK and started this phone bills. But then after a while, maybe your company actually gives you a phone line that you now use and you don't have to pay for. And then you forget that you're still paying a monthly bill for the phone that you don't use. Or in some cases, you travel, someone like me, anytime I travel, I roam. Again, back to phone bills, you could forget that you didn't cancel that roaming plan. And sometimes you don't notice, but it compounds, it adds up. So scan for things like that. By the time you have 3 or 4 direct debits that shouldn't be there, then it's a problem. Now, still on the topic of things that you might not know you are paying for, let's go to step 2. Step 2, if you use a credit card, then we'll carry out step 2 together. If you don't have a credit card, then you can skip this step. But if you have a credit card, go to your credit card provider. This one you should do preferably on your laptop. Download your statement for the past 6 months. Look at the last 6 months. Download it into a CSV file or an Excel file if possible. Not a PDF file, an Excel file. Once you open the Excel file, you're interested in 2 columns. You're interested in the name of the merchant that you paid to, and you're also interested in how much you paid, right? So look for the column that shows the name of the merchant. Sometimes it's the name, sometimes it's called description. Just select everything on that column. You can just click on the top where it gives you the letter and just select everything in that column. Hold Control and then click on any other column that has the actual price that you paid for that item, and also select that. So you have 2 columns selected. Then go to the menu. You see where on that home tab where it says conditional formatting, look for highlight cells rule and then click on duplicate values. It's fine if you pick the default options and just click OK. Once you click OK, it's going to highlight in red all the items that have shown up more than once in the last 6 months, which is fine. What you want to do now is look at those items and make sure that there are things that you actually want to continue to pay for. What you may discover is that there was a subscription that you started some months ago and you forgot to cancel, or some software that you tried to test online and you forgot to cancel. Just look out for all those things, those recurring payments. Identify any that you should have cancelled or that you should cancel or that you want to cancel now. Note it down. Pause the video and do this exercise now. It's actually an important one. Once you've identified those things, note it down. We're going to cancel them today. Now, the third step is simple. You've noticed your monthly spending patterns over the last 30 days. You've looked at the last 6 months and seen the recurring expenses. You look for direct debits that you are paying for every month. Now, this third step is to identify, out of all these things that we've checked, direct debits, recurring payments on credit card, spending patterns, can you identify 2 or 3 things that you can cancel, that you should cancel? 2 or 3 payments that you probably don't need anymore. You haven't used them. Maybe it's something that you think, oh, one day I will use it, like a subscription to some service or the other, but you haven't used it. It could be gym membership. What is it that you're paying for monthly that you don't need to, or that you can pause for now? Go to that service and pause it or cancel it. That's the last step in this 3-step process. Now we're going to look at some other ways that you can reduce the amount of money that leaves your account every month. So one area is utilities. This is something a lot of people leave on autopilot. So maybe when you moved into your apartment, you registered with an internet service provider or an energy provider and you just kept paying the same amount. First of all, the first thing you should do when you move into a new place is actually shop around for options. You don't have to take the default that came with the apartment. Go to a comparison site. There are lots of them. I typically either go to USwitch or Money Supermarket. I think Money Saving Expat also has a page for comparison. So just pick one you're comfortable with. Put in your address and then you can check if you can find better rates for your energy bills, for internet or mobile plans. Check it out. The other thing that is also interesting for utilities is the fact that you found a better rate doesn't mean you have to actually switch. Sometimes if you tell them that you found a better rate and you want to switch, they will offer you something cheaper. I did this with my internet provider. Sometimes what they do is they give you like a 12-month plan and then your bill automatically goes back up after 12 months. If you go back to them after that 12 months and say, look, I want another reduced plan, or say you're considering leaving, 9 out of 10 times they will offer you a cheaper plan again. And then they also try and lock it down, because for them, it's better they lock you down for a period of time than try and replace you if you switch to a different user. But what they bank on is most people don't do this check. A lot of people know now, but most people don't check. What I usually do is I lock down those rates and I put a calendar reminder for when the rate will expire. For instance, last time I adjusted my internet was, I think, a year ago. So I have another 6 months because they locked me in at the lower rate for 18 months. So they do interesting things like that. They can give you 12 months, 18 months, 6 months. So you tend to forget once that thing expires and it switches to a higher rate. And because it's automated, right, it's direct debit or it's a recurring expense, you don't really notice sometimes. So that's one area to check, especially with your energy bills. Energy bills can be quite expensive over time. The other area where I would suggest you check is your council tax. Now, if you live alone, usually you can get a significant discount on how much you pay for council tax. Some people will miss this sometimes, but what you should do is go to the website for your borough and search for single person discount. You can actually just go to Google and type in single person discount and the name of your borough. So if it's Southwark, if it's Westminster, just type it in. Usually to turn up the page that you need to look at. So you go to that page. Usually they would either send you a form to fill or you can apply for that discount online. You just need to tell them that you live alone. Usually you get a response within days and then your council tax drops. The interesting thing is you can actually backdate it, that discount as well. You can retrospectively apply it. So if you've been paying the higher amount for a period of time, depending on your borough though, you might need to check with them. But in some cases, you might be able to backdate it. So let's say you've been paying council tax for a full household for like 6 months and then you joined our training, you learned about this discount and then you apply to your borough. You can also find out from there if you can get a discount on the amounts that you've already paid. But then again, this depends on the borough. It's not a given. Some would not. Even the ones that would, there will be a restriction. So maybe maximum is 6 months or 180 days or something like that. So you can't just say, oh, I've been living here for the past 3 years and I didn't know that I could get a discount for living alone. I'm not sure they would agree to that. Another area where you could look at your cash flow is with your TV license. So there's certain rules for when you should pay TV license. One big one is if you watch live television, whether you're watching it on BBC or not on BBC, so long as it is live, not on demand. Live means like a live broadcast, like when the Prime Minister is talking and you're watching it live, or when Rachel Reeves was talking last year and you were watching it live. That's a live broadcast. If you watch live TV, you should be paying the TV license. There are other rules as well if you use BBC iTunes and so on. If you go to the TV license website, they give you the rules for when you should pay it. But if you're like me and you actually don't watch live TV, so I don't watch live TV, I don't have BBC iPlayer. There are mainly 2 programs that I watch on the BBC and I can get them on Amazon on demand. And even the one that is not on Amazon, I buy it. I simply buy it, the episodes I'm interested in on Amazon. It's cheaper than paying TV license for a year. So if you really don't do live TV and need to pay the TV license, you can go to the TV license website and fill a form and say, I don't need to pay TV license, and then you don't need to pay the TV license. And that's it. It's not a lot of money, but then it's £100 plus. Now, we've identified ways that you can reduce the amount of money silently leaking out of your account every month. But that's not the end game. This money is not free money. Any amount of money you're able to free up, it's not for largesse. You've been living without it for a while, at least 6 months. If you're able to identify certain things, that money, you need to block it. Because that means you could live without it. You need to assign it towards your goals. Now, this exercise that we've done today is something I would suggest you do maybe quarterly or twice a year. It's up to you. But if you feel you subscribe to a number of new things and you might just want to find out if there's anything in your account that is going that you are not aware of, you could just carry it out again. I do it like once a year. I'll leave links in the video description to the comparison sites that I talked about. Energy bills can actually add up significantly over time. So you switch money saving experts, money supermarkets. You can pick anyone that you're comfortable with. Go there and check if you could actually be paying less for your bills. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments for this video. And let me know if you discovered any surprising leaks, especially when you did the credit card check. You found anything you were paying for without knowing. Today we've gained some control over your cash flow. We'll be turning that cash flow into a realistic monthly spending plan, something that builds up to your long-term goals. I'll see you.